Greetings everyone, welcome to the first ever Splatoon Decomp Lab Direct. Splatoon Decomp Lab is a private group of researchers founded by Splatoon 1 Enjoyer, or Enjoyer for short, that primarily focuses on decompiling Splatoon 1 and working on projects that revolve around it. In this Direct, we are going to go over all development progress on our projects as well as showcase potentially upcoming ones. We have been working on this for a very long time, and we hope you are just as excited as we are to show our progress. This Direct will go over three things. First, we will go over all of the progress that has been happening on Silverlight, the first ever fully fledged internal mod menu for Splatoon 1. You'll see a bunch of new modules, fixes, and improvements that we have been working on the past few weeks. After that, we will take a closer look at our decompilation progress that has been happening internally. Additionally, we will showcase a lot of recently discovered debug and unused content that the developers forgot to remove from the game and earlier versions of it. Lastly, we will go into a little bit more detail about upcoming projects as we haven't shared much information about them yet. Enjoy! Everything that will be shown now are things added to Silverlight Beta 0.4. We are happy to announce that you no longer have to manually re-enable your modules after you close your game. In this Silverlight version, we have added experimental support for saving the state of your modules. In other words, if you enable a specific module and then you press a new Save Module State button, your module will remain enabled when you reopen your game. Silverlight finally has aimbot implemented. As of Silverlight Beta 0.4, this module is completely functional and usable. Keep in mind that there are still a few bugs and its calculations are not perfect because of how the game handles rotation. In the future, when we decompile the game's collision system, we will also be able to detect players behind collision walls so that the aimbot only locks on players that can be shot. You can now use client-sided emotes in the game. We may make them server-sided in the future when we create dedicated Silverlight servers for player events, but as of right now, only you can see your emotes. Customize the skybox of the game to anything you want, including skyboxes from story mode. All available skyboxes will be listed in the menu. Optimize the performance of the game with Nintendo's hidden built-in feature that optimizes some small parts of the game's lighting system to run better on low-end devices. Please note that some of the modules below have been marked as cheat modules in the mod menu, meaning they are considered cheats and cannot be used in public matches. However, we may contact Pretendo to legalize some of them in the future or create our own custom servers to allow people to use them freely. These are listed on screen now. Place a splash wall down at any time you want, regardless of whether you have already placed one, just like in the new Splatoon games. Give yourself the ability to substrafe with ink mines and seekers, just like you can with any other sub-weapon. Back to module state saving. As of Silverlight 0.4, the state of modules, whether they are on or off, will be savable. This means that you will be able to store configuration of modules so that you do not have to re-enable them when you decide to reopen the game, and you will be able to share it with other people. A packet analyzer has been added. The module allows you to analyze ingoing and outgoing network packets. It is currently in a very early phase, and it will get better in future updates. Currently, the analyzer supports inspecting ingoing and outgoing socket addresses, but functionality to do advanced analysis of TCP and UDP packets is planned for a future Silverlight version. We hope that our users will find use in this feature for creating network-related tools for the game. Now that you've seen all the key things added to the new update, let's go over some other features that are coming soon in a new update. Bosses, items, and other mission features will be fully usable in online multiplayer matches as part of a future update, thanks to Enjoyer and Perlo. Currently, we have added some crash fixes for Mission Online in 0.4, but those will not be usable until we finish porting the functionality to Silverlight. Footage of mission bosses working online is being displayed in the background. However, it is not compatible with Silverlight yet. A modding API is being planned to be integrated to Silverlight. This Lua API will give developers the ability to write their own mods for Silverlight and dynamically load them into the menu, and it will provide them with a stable interface for fetching and setting the game's memory. This feature is planned for Silverlight Beta 0.5. Here's some example code that showcases how the modding API will be used. Have you ever wanted to join your friends in ranked just like in regular battles? Well, now you can. Using Silverlight's new Join Ranked Through Friends feature, you can join any friend that is currently in a ranked battle via the Ranked button. We have mentioned that the menu is going to be open source at some point in the future, but we haven't given any specific details yet. Regarding the mod menu becoming open source, this is planned to become licensed under the GNU General Public License, or GPL for short, in the official 1.0 release version. 1.0 will release when our interface for binding in-game code has been improved, all planned modules have been implemented completely, all miscellaneous module bugs have been addressed, and the possibility of the mod menu becoming compatible with real Wii U consoles has been completely looked into. So far, most of the planned modules have been implemented, but there are still new ideas and improvements that can be imagined and developed every day. Because of that, we cannot estimate a release date for 1.0. As mentioned before, we would like everyone to know that a Silverlight port for the Nintendo Wii U has begun. We have begun migrating and cleaning up a lot of our codebase so that it becomes compatible with the Aroma homebrew environment. You may be able to use this mod menu on a real console at some point in the future, possibly at some point in between Beta 0.5 and 0.6. An anti-cheat for the game named No Kernel is in the works behind the scenes. The way this anti-cheat will work is it will run checks for all of the clients the person using it is connected with, and if it detects that someone connected is cheating, it will kick them from the match and report the incident to Splatoon Decomp Lab. Connecting to a central server is not required for this system to work, as all of the checks are ran on the client. In the future, it will also be used as a majority-based vote kick system that will work on the back end, which will only kick the suspected cheater if another of the clients running no kernel decide that they are cheating. In other words, this system will work very similarly to the Splatoon 2 and Splatoon 3's internal anti-cheat system. In addition, this system will be able to detect the majority of the server-sided Silverlight cheats. No kernel is planned to be released in Silverlight Beta 0.5 for alpha testing. However, because of the importance of this project, it will also be compatible with Wii U's and not just emulators at some point in the future. With this safety, we feel comfortable to announce the next big project. Enjoy Your Queue is a matchmaking system that will work via the future Splatoon Decomp Lab website. It is a ranked matchmaking system that uses Glico 2 rating system for players' ratings, like Splatoon 2's X rank. The system will have 3 matchmaking divisions: solo matchmaking, team matchmaking, and muted team matchmaking. Solo matchmaking will matchmake people with other players that are in a similar rating range and will take several factors into account, such as the weapons the participant is using, their calculated skill level, and their kill to death ratio, and more factors. This system is planned to be released at some point after the server shut down. It will make use of the no Kernel Anti-Cheat to make sure that people are not cheating, creating a safe environment for competitive play, and will have a manual report system for people reporting incorrect statistics or cheats. More details about the release date will be given at some point in the future. This part will be a bit technical, so bear with us for a little bit. We have made the following discoveries when decompiling the game in Splatoon Decomp Lab. 1. PIA Library's LAN functionality has been completely stripped from the production releases of Splatoon, either because of the compiler optimizing out unused code or because of the developers explicitly excluding it from compilation. This means that restoring the game's LAN functionality would require doing a complete decompilation of the game's LAN functionality, something which isn't as far-fetched as one may think because we have access to Splatoon 2's debug symbols for PIA and Mario Kart 8's symbol table file. 2. The developers have left unused in-game content that has never been documented before as part of the developer parameter custom part addition in the game's gameconfigsetting.xml file. Footage of the content will be shown on the screen. 3. We managed to restore the game's debug moving functionality that was shown in a gameplay video by GameXplain, where they accidentally enabled a developer debug menu for a split second. Here is the functionality restored in the latest version of Splatoon 2.12.1. This functionality perfectly matches the debug menu text that appeared in the video, as the R stick is used to control the player going up and down. 4. We figured out how the game handles ROM types. There are 4 types of ROM types in the production version of Splatoon: Default, Show Floor, Show DL, and Kiosk. We managed to restore all of them in the latest version of the game. Interestingly, after analyzing some of the game's older releases, we found out that the Show Floor edition on Nintendo's CDN does not contain the Kiosk ROM type. Because of this, we suspect that development of it started very early, and it may be very closely related to the E3 version, as it also contains the demo match count text. 5. The developers accidentally set the game's version to 2.0 on the Show Floor CDN edition. 6. The majority of the game's debug features cannot be restored because of compile time optimizations stripping unused code from production binaries. Additionally, no version of the game that has ever been released has been compiled with ndebug set to false, which keeps debug-related things such as debug symbols, so we cannot approximate how they would look like. Only restorable debug scene is FreeTest, which is only left in the production binary because it points to the game's common scene constructor. 7. A reference to an object named tofu has existed ever since version 2.0.0. It is unknown what exactly this object refers to, but it is very likely that it has something to do with the game's older development phase, which makes it even more strange that this reference was added versions after the game's release. That is it from the Splatoon Decomp Lab for today. We hope you enjoyed this direct and the information provided in it. If you are interested in anything in this video, go down to the description where you can find the Discord. Thank you so much for watching.